morning, everybody, and welcome to the final start-sit show of the season here on Optimus Fantasy Football. If you're tuning in for these last-minute start-sit questions, we want to thank you for tuning out probably most of the season. We've seen a lot of you guys here in the chat asking questions, and if you're still going, hopefully we were able to help you get there. We've already got a question in, Lou, and I want to get to this one immediately. It's been sitting in the chat since 9:15. Good morning, Frosty126. He needs three out of this group here. Kyle Pitts, Luther Burden, Ramondre Stevenson, Trevion Henderson. This is full PPR. Which three are you going with out of this group? Or I guess which one are you benching? Let's go with that.
Yeah, I'm benching Ramondre with Henderson back. He's an automatic start, especially against a really bad Jets team. I do expect them to actually both be pretty okay, like both usable this week. But Hendo, he's going to flirt with RB1 status. We know he kind of relies on that big play, that sort of thing. So it makes him a little bit, up and down, that sort of thing. So I've got him at RB13, but he could very easily crack top 5 RB, and I wouldn't be shocked at all. And Stevenson, kind of same thing. I've got him down at RB27, but if he finds his way into the end zone, he could absolutely be a top 20 running back without problem.
Well, in this matchup against the Jets for New England, they might just run the ball all damn day. Especially when you've got Kayshon Boutte out. So that definitely plays a factor as well. Frosty wants to know, Lou, they've also got Drake London going if that changes your stance on Pitts. It doesn't change my stance on Pitts at all whatsoever. This is where I'd go. I do think that there's something to Ramondre this week, but that's as a back-end RB2, probably maybe more of like a mid-range flex, if anything else. Henderson's the guy here, right? It's just the way it is. We've got Charlene Erickson. Oh, boy. Good morning, Charlene. Queen's
Spicy.
Classic on the line. Yes. So she beat Casey last week, and Gina Noble beat Jen last week. So now we've got Charlene and Gina. Rivers or Cousins?
Oh, this is a good one. I want to make sure I do right by it. So let me look just to be real sure here for you, Charlene.
Well, we've got Indy up against Jacksonville. They're a little bit tougher of a passing defense, but they're also better against the run. But do you trust Phillip Rivers in your fantasy championship?
Trust him to do what? Do I trust him to put up points and then throw a game-sealing interception? Yes, absolutely. Yeah. I trust him to do that. So he's going to lose you points late. That is absolutely a thing here. Cousins? That's
against that Rams defense. I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I think I might go Phillip Rivers here.
And I actually have Cousins, and I'm kind of shocked at myself for this, but I'm standing by that. Mostly because, like you said, that Jacksonville defense, it is scary, and as good as the Rams defense is, it is not good against the pass, at all. And their defensive backs been getting roasted a lot recently. We know the Rams are going to put up points. We know the Falcons are going to try and do what they can to do the same.
Yep.
With London a week healthier, hopefully. I tend to lean Cousins, especially with the way Pitts has been playing.
That's fair. They get Drake London back. Well, they've got Drake London back, so he's in the mix as well.
And they've been using Bijan in that passing game a lot too. Just there's a lot there to like, and I worry that we could see Riley Leonard early today too. That's a very real thing, the way this Jacksonville offense has been playing.
That is a very real. Yeah. All right. You've swayed me to Cousins. I think you've got me on board with it. It's a tough decision though. Like Charlene says, it's one that she's been battling with. There are a lot of tough decisions. A friend of mine has been asking me this morning, kicking through some start-sit stuff. He's between Drake London and T. Higgins in a wide receiver spot. He's between Tyler Warren and Darren Waller in a tight end spot. Those are tough decisions in the championship. Drake London, T. Higgins, which way are you going this week?
I'm going Higgins. I don't trust London's knee. He was really he struggled a lot more than I expected him to. And I think it's just because he really wanted to come back and play again this season, and Raheem Morris is not protecting him from himself like he should. which is a whole other sort of conversation and situation here. So I've got London significantly lower. I've got him in the mid-20s as a wide receiver, whereas Higgins is, he's right up there. That's going to be a boat race today. Cincinnati against Arizona. That should be a lot of fun fantasy-wise.
What are you doing with Michael Wilson this week? I've got him at wide receiver 19. I'm a little bit higher than some, but I'm also a lot lower than some. With Marvin Harrison, I do think that there's a ceiling. We're not going to see 15 targets for Wilson. We're not going to see double-digit catches when we've got Marvin Harrison in the mix. Or are we? Because I can't bump him that high. I can't do it just because of what we've seen.
So here's the thing, right? Jacoby Brissett, he only threw 31 passes last week, which ties his season low. 10 games, he's only had 2 games under 40 passing attempts. They both happen to be 31, oddly enough. So I think there is room here, especially with Greg Dortch continuing to be out. Elijah Higgins should not see 8 targets again, just in any way, shape, or form. That should not be a thing that happens. Atlanta also played cover 4 pretty extensively last week. They were determined to take the wide receivers out of it. Cincinnati doesn't. They don't really care about how their defense performs, apparently, as we've seen all year. I've got Mike Wilson at wide receiver 11. I think there is room in this passing offense for Wilson to be Wilson, McBride to be McBride, and Marvin Harrison to still do some things, especially when his snap count is going to be managed more, like Gannon has already come out and said. So do I trust Michael Wilson? No, I have him outside of that kind of top tier of wide receivers this week. But at the same time, I'm rolling him out if I've got him, and I'm feeling decently about it.
Yeah, you're starting. Okay, but you're not going to start him over Ted McMillan. You're not going to start. Are you really going to? Okay, all right. You heard it here first. Yeah. All right. I'll allow it. Trevor Lawrence or Matthew Stafford?
Oh, I like this. It's got to be Lawrence, though. As good as Stafford has been, Lawrence, he'll scramble a little bit. If Stafford is scrambling, things have gone very, very wrong, and it's enough of a bump to where Lawrence is preferable. Is all. Both are fantastic options, both easily top 10 options. So give me Lawrence, and great problem to have week 17.
I just think with the matchup, there's a little bit more upside for Lawrence. They're going to have to maybe score. I think there's just more upside in general. What are you doing if you face Derrick Henry? Other than crying in the corner to yourself and just hoping.
The first thing that you got to do is you got to really evaluate your matchup and your options. You don't care about floor anymore. I say that if you are ahead, or you were ahead prior to facing Henry, because you have really good options, you've got T. Higgins and JSN and Trevor Lawrence, and you've got these, and your opponent's lineup has been Derrick Henry, Trey McBride, and that's kind of it. You can still play for a higher floor. If it's the reverse, though, you've really got to say, okay, I don't care about floor anymore. I can't just hold serve. I need to chase as much upside as possible. That's leaning into guys like Michael Wilson, like Taysom Hill. Sorry, and others are escaping me off the top of my head here, but those guys that really it's a little bit of a longer shot, but who really have that 2-3 touchdown upside this week. Darren Waller is another one, honestly. Both Taysom Hill, Darren Waller, two of my favorites, a tight end, a position that typically doesn't have great upside, but these guys legitimately have multiple touchdown upside, and you might be able to even get off the waiver wire still.
Yep. Now I'm back to that Lawrence or Stafford. If they've got Puka and they can stack him with Stafford, does that change your mind?
Ooh, I'm saying no. And again, it depends a little bit on the matchup. Because if Stafford has a bad game, then Puka has a bad game, and now you're double down in the championship week. Whereas if you spread out that risk between two different teams, we expect Puka to do well, we expect Stafford to do well, we expect Lawrence to do well. It takes two teams to fail.
Yep.
for you to lose out completely. So throughout the season, yes, in the best ball, absolutely. Week 17, where I'm making that decision and that choice, give me that split.
I generally, I don't like stacking in season long. Stacking is a DFS thing for me. It's something I don't try and do in season long for that reason. Because like in DFS, you're shooting for the ceiling every time you play. But in season long, sometimes you really are just looking for that floor. And if you get screwed, like you're saying, where if they both have a bad game, forget about it. You're completely, at least insulate yourself a little bit there. I love that. Yeah. I want to get to this here. We've got the injuries up and ready to go for us today, Lou. Officially active, Ted McMillan, Marvin Harrison, Harold Fannin. Thank God he is active. We get Dylan Sampson as well. So if he's someone you were thinking about firing up with no Quinshawn Judkins, you get that receiving upside as well with Dylan Sampson. Chris Olave, Demario Douglas, Trevion Henderson, which we did discuss. A.J. Brown, Luther Burden, and Josh Allen are all playing today. Drake London, technically a game time decision, but he is trending towards playing. Same with Ricky Pearsall in San Francisco. Dalton Kincaid, he's a game time decision, as well as Dawson Knox. We have a little bit less information on that. George Kittle, Devontae Adams, not technically inactive yet, but we have been told that neither one of them are going to play today. And then out for sure, we've got David Njoku. Theo Johnson, a late addition with an illness. He will not play. Romo Dunze is out. Kayshawn Booty, Mac Hollins in New England are out as well. Calvin Austin, Bashal Tuden, and no surprise here, Alvin Kamara is also out in New Orleans. So that's kind of the landscape for injuries. With no Alvin Kamara, I've got Taysom Hill as a top 5 tight end. I almost bumped him up to tight end 4. Like, I was this close this morning, and I might still do it before games kick off. How does that make you feel, Lou?
It makes me feel vindicated. I've had Taysom Hill as a top 5 tight end all week. Like from the hop. And oddly enough, I have Juwan Johnson at tight end 4. So I mean, like, go Saints, which is so weird to say. The 2025 has been such a weird season.
Yeah,
it really has, right? But I mean, we saw last week, and you can say, oh, it was their last game in the Superdome for the year. It could be Taysom Hill's last game in this, in New Orleans, actual New Orleans. Yes, and they clearly prefer him as a running back to Audric Estime, Evan Hull. I can't say as I blame them. So even if he's not, playing the tight end role, and he still got 6 targets. So, I mean, if you're in a tight end premium league and you're not firing up Taysom Hill, I kind of wonder what you're doing. Like, you've got to have a really phenomenal edge at that. Like, you've got Trey McBride and Harold Fannin both. It's that sort of thing is the only thing that's making me pass up working Taysom Hill in the lineups.
Yeah. Well, he had 12 carries in addition to his receiving work, the 6 targets he got. Yeah, I'll take that.
And a passing attempt. Yeah, look, I'm all in on Taysom Hill this week for a number of reasons. One, they don't have a lot of other options. Right.
Just plain and simple. Right. They don't have a lot of other options. But also, I feel like this is a farewell tour for him. They're not going to keep him after the season. I don't think he wants to play anywhere else. He knows these are his last few games.
Right.
Why not just give the man the ball? Like, he's done so much for this team and this community and this city. You're playing for nothing at this point. You're trying to help Tyler Shuck develop, which he has done. I'm impressed as hell with that kid. I can't wait to see what we get out of him next year. See how he can grow in the offseason, knowing he's a starter possibly. And I think it's just going to be fun. I think it'll be fun, and I think Taysom Hill could be tight end 1 on the week. I'm not going to put any money on it, but I wouldn't be completely and totally shocked if it did end up happening, just on volume.
I would be, simply because Trey McBride is playing Cincinnati, and we know what that means. Like, this is the tight end god playing against the worst defense against tight ends in the entire NFL. So if he's not tight end 1 this week, that's true. Just one of those mind-blowing things.
Yep. We're getting some Tyler Shuck love in the chat, as we should. We got Doug, Casey's dad. What's up, Doug? It's good to see you, buddy. Love seeing you drop in the chat. I wish I could see you before August, but I'm looking forward to it. Look, I loved Tyler Shuck before the draft even. And I know he was the older guy, and there was a lot of talk about that. But watching his film and then watching some of his pre-draft stuff, the combine, the Senior Bowl, some of his pro day, you could just tell that there's something in his brain where this kid, he understands football. He knows how to play. He
Sure.
understands schemes. He understands adapting on the fly. He was doing it in Mobile. Uh, his work at the combine was phenomenal. He worked himself up to a second round pick when most of us were projecting him in the 5th or 6th round, even after all of that. New Orleans clearly saw something in him. I don't think they're going to give up on him. I think he's the starter next season. I think they go into it. Maybe they draft a quarterback in the 2nd or 3rd round that they think they can develop later on. But I think they're going to roll with Shuck. And he's been good enough. And in fantasy, he's been tight end 6 since week 14. Quarterback 6 since week 14. He's playing well on a bad team.
He's doing, at least for fantasy purposes, he's doing what we need him to do, right? Like he's rushing a bit. He's got some rushing touch, some young guy rushing touchdown upside, that sort of thing. Scrambles well. And like you said, he's doing enough. I suspect that you're right that he is the starter there next week. He's got, New Orleans just has so many needs on that team. Like their defense has been playing well, but they're incredibly old on the defensive side of the ball. They need so much that I don't see a reason that they would be spending premium assets, whether it's dollars that they don't have or draft picks that they don't have enough of, on a quarterback position, especially when you've got a guy like Rattler behind him, where it's like, yes, he's not good, and he can get you through a bad season. Like this is not Cleveland where you're throwing out Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders. Yes, Rattler's not much better, but he's enough better that you can evaluate the talent that you have on the team.
Yeah, there's no need. They need to shore up their offensive line. They've got massive issues at running back right now. They've got to do something about that because Kendre Miller, maybe Devin Neal's a guy. Kendre Miller's not, though, and I think we know that now. But the defensive side has to be a priority for them in the draft.
The defensive side, I mean, they have nobody at wide receiver other than Chris Olave now.
Right.
They've got a lot. They've got so much that they need to address.
Yeah, and they just simply don't need to do it with Shuck right now. All right, I want to drop this one in here. Let's get it, saying my championship loss awaits. He's rolling out Hill, Mayer, Gesicki, or Tongas. Need one of those alongside Myers. I'm going to go Hill.
Yeah, this is pretty clear cut for me.
Yeah.
For all the reasons that we've been talking about.
Yeah, we just ran through all of it. Then, wide receivers, he needs Marvin Harrison Jr., Brian Thomas Jr., Trey Tucker, or Kyle Williams, with the other New England receivers out. I think I like Kyle Williams' possible upside. I think that's a ceiling play because he could have a huge week. It would be sneaky. You're going BTJ?
I am. Mostly because, I mean, we've got the divisional matchup. We've got Jacksonville. I mean, they're on their victory march around the AFC right now. They're in a dogfight with Houston, trying to make sure that they, put the AFC South up on on the top shelf where Houston can't catch them.
Right.
And Andy's defense is bad. Like, Sauce Gardner, I think, is back this week or should be back.
He is.
He's not that good even when he's healthy. Sorry, that was probably too loud. But yeah, it's give me some BTJ big plays this week. And if not, Marvin Harrison Jr. is my pivot away from that. Again, boat race, Cincinnati, Arizona.
Sure.
It's even if he's only getting 5, 6, 7 targets because he's not playing his full complement, that's enough to return high wide receiver 2 against that Cincinnati defense.
Yep. I just want to toss this out here real quick. If your Week 18 championship, Riley Leonard might start next week, so just keep that in mind. Wanted to toss that out there since they're eliminated from the playoffs. And then, are you going Purdy or Stafford at quarterback here for Let's Get It?
Oh, man. As much as he says that, he's losing this week, like, these are some great options.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to lose, man, unless maybe you're up against Derrick Henry, but still, like, I think you're going to be all right. I'm going Stafford. I'm going Stafford here.
I mean, these are my QB5, QB6. So, I mean, that's right back to back, right? I do have Purdy higher. I stand by it. He is on just a heater of heaters right now. Yes, Kittle is probably out, and that hurts a bit. But the fact that CMC is so involved in that passing game and makes it it just makes it so much easier for Purdy
Sure.
to just rack up passing stats. I mean, he's probably not going to have another, 4 or 5 touchdown game, but why not? What it's like he's been doing it. Let's keep riding that hot hand.
Yeah, why not? Carly dropping in from Twitch with this. 5 years ago, I overcame Alvin Kamara's 6 touchdown gain and won my championship. You can do it. Believe. I had Alvin Kamara on 3 championship teams that year. It was one of my best fantasy years ever. I won 6 championships that year. It was phenomenal. But 3 of them were literally because of Alvin Kamara. Wouldn't have won without him. It was just on a wing and a prayer. And that was so fun. But yeah, you're not going to get that out of Kamara today. He's done, right? He's done. He's got to retire at this point, or he's got to relegate himself to being what Dalvin Cook was when he went to the Jets, which was just sad.
And that's tough because I think Kamara still wants to play, and he will stay in New Orleans forever. I could see him hanging on one more year to try and come back, and just making that backfield miserable, at least to start the season, before it kind of turns into what that backfield has been this year.
Yeah, I just hope he retires. Just off into the sunset, man. Glizzer fan on Twitch wants to know Blake Corum or Michael Carter. Which one are you rolling with?
I'm going Blake Corum, and it's not close to me. The Arizona running backs are doo-doo. They've not really had an interest in running with their running backs all year. Again, this Arizona-Cincinnati game should be a boat race. I expect a high passing volume from Brissett again. The only reason that Carter got a lot of volume last week and ended up doing kind of okay-ish yards-wise was because of the fact that Brissett didn't throw a lot. Yeah. I don't see that happening again this week. Give me Corum. He's got an established role in that offense. They'd like to use him around the goal line. Great. There's that touchdown upside. And he's getting in that 15 touch range every week, which is like what you're hoping for from Carter. So take the sure thing. Take Corum. He's just got so much more upside, even in a limited volume role.
Yeah, I'm not playing Michael Carter. No way. I'm not doing it. I was a big Michael Carter fan when he was on the Jets. I thought he was the better of their running back tandem, him and Ty Johnson, and he was. But that's not saying much.
No.
Alvin Kamara did sign a 2-year extension beginning of the season. Yeah. I don't know how much that actually matters, though. We've seen that before. I mean, look at the extension Tua signed. There's no way he's on that Miami roster next year. No way, right? They can't hold on to him at this point. You benched him for Quinn Ewers, who was one of the bigger disappointments in college football over the last 3 to 4 seasons. 5-star prospect, was supposed to win a Heisman, he wasn't even a finalist at any point. And now
he's bad.
Yeah. He's a 6th-round pick. You benched your $100+ million quarterback for him.
So it's really tough to move on from quarterbacks with those kinds of contracts. It is. It is a lot easier to move on from coaches. So I would anticipate we get a coaching search in Miami that centers around, can you fix Tua? Can you make it work with Tua at least through the end of this contract? And maybe even an adjusted contract for Tua and Miami going forward to help lessen that blow a bit, right? But it's so many things. Like, yes, as a fan on the outside, oh my God, they can't roll Tua back out there, right? What's the alternative? Legitimately, what's the alternative? You're spending a high draft pick on a quarterback in a class when you have a team that is just absolutely bereft of talent in so many other places.
Right.
This is how bad teams stay bad. And I'm not saying Tua is great. And I am saying that he's probably got at least one more year in Miami.
Well, and if that's the case, what you've got to do, plain and simple, is you've got to Trent Dill for him. Take the ball out of his hands as often as possible. Mm-hmm. You've got Devon Achane. You need to get Jalen Wright way more involved in that offense. Just run, and then let him throw occasionally to Jalen Waddle and get yourself a decent tight end in free agency.
I don't disagree. I really think that is a very decent to good plan for bridging into the next phase of whatever Miami's going to become.
Well, I mean, Miami's been essentially the same franchise since their inception. Well, outside of the Bob Greasy, Larry Zonka years and Don Shula being the head coach there, like think about
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and
yeah,
that Wildcat offense.
I know. All right, we got JD Riley 87. Good morning. Half PPR. Need to pick a tight end here. We'll start with this one. Taysom Hill, Colby Parkinson, or Jake Tongas. I think we know where we're going with this, Lou. It's going to be Taysom Hill.
Yeah, Taysom Hill pretty easily. I understand the anxiety about a donut. One of the things you probably missed this when we were talking about it earlier, JD. He's a running back one. Like he's their preferred goal line option. Yep. Not that they are around the goal line a whole lot, but Shuck has got the offense moving a bit more where there is that actual possibility. And he still gets targets. 6 last week. No reason he can't have 4 to 7 this week again, in addition to 10 to 15 running back carries. And they could even, again, throw a pass or two with him. I mean, he's literally used in every single way that you could want in what could be one of his final games as a Saint. Why not ride him? Like, the Saints have got nothing else going at this point.
Well, it's something Mike Reedy and I talked about on the DFS show this week in relation to Taysom Hill is he's one of those guys who you're a baseball guy, so you'll understand this. Lloyd McClendon, Ozzie Guillen, like just extreme utility players for the Pirates and for the Cardinals, respectively. Ozzie Guillen played every position but pitcher in a game. In one game.
Craig Counsell.
Craig Counsell. Yeah, those kind of guys for the younger kids who wouldn't know that. Yeah, you can roll him out because he's going to play running back, wide receiver, tight end, and quarterback today. At any given point, he could line up in any of those positions. So, all right, we've got this one from
little offensive tackle.
You never know. Put him out at safety.
Yeah, hey, why not? Let's get nuts.
Little Mike Backer. All right, Blizzard fan got another one for us. Emeka Egbuka over Zach Charbonnet in a flex. I say this shouldn't be such a hard decision.
Right? For me, if you have more information here, like if you are going up against Henry, that definitely informs my choice. If you had Henry go, that informs my choice, that sort of thing. Like it's really, Charbonnet has the higher floor to me, so I like him if I am projected to win or I just need to hold serve. If I really need to chase upside and at the chance of a 20-point game, my start is Egbuka, understanding that he could also return like a 2-point game. That Tampa Bay offense is really not great right now, and I know they're saying we need to feature Egbuka more, but the problem is there's 3 or 4, depending on how you want to look at it, players in the passing game that should be taking priority over him at this point between Evans, Godwin, McMillan, and Buck.
Yeah. Oh, I completely agree. But you do. If you're chasing points, if you need that high upside, I'm definitely going with Egbuka because he could have a 20-point game. Could. Zach Charbonnet is not going to get there. With Zach Charbonnet, you're looking for a hopefully double-digit floor because he's going to get some volume, and you're hoping he scores a touchdown, which you're not going to get out of Ken Walker. Oh, Ken Walker.
Yeah, right. Ken Walker, exactly. I mean, and he had that blow-up game, right, out of nowhere, which felt great seeing that, and then seeing his usage all year. It's like, wait, what? And of course, people are saying, look, he can score touchdowns. Yeah, how long did that have to be for him to score it, though?
Right?
That's the problem.
Yeah, I think if it was me, I'm going Egbuka here. I just don't trust the Seattle backfield. Even with the floor, I still don't even – because, I mean, we say Charbonnet has a safe floor, and then he goes out and gets you 1 point.
I mean, how often has he had actually 1 point this year, though? I mean, that's –
well, okay, so I'm being extreme here, Lou, but
yeah,
you get my point.
I do. But like,
I mean, he's had against Indy, he had 3 points. He had 6 points against the Rams. He had 5 points against Washington. He had a 4-point game against Jacksonville. And granted, some of these are. Oh, and he had a 1-point game against Pittsburgh in week 2. So, haha.
Yes.
But still, the floor. I get what you're saying. The floor is still a little scary for me with Charbonnet, but I get it. If you need a floor, I would probably still.
And that's the thing. I feel like Charbonnet's floor is like in that 4 to 5 range, which is not great. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, Egbuka's floor is literally like 1 to 2.
0.
And well, I think it's probably not 0, right? Like he's going to get a catch for
Probably
6
not.
yards, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Whereas Charbonnet, he's going to get some volume. He's going to get in that 8 to 10 carry, probably as a minimum. And he's going to get a couple of red zone carries in all likelihood. Seattle's a good enough team that this is going to happen.
Yeah, and that is a fair point.
It makes it tough for me to not say Charbonnet if you need floor.
Yeah, fair enough. All right. I mean, it's a decision you don't want to be making in the championships.
Right,
but the thing to remember too is that generally the teams that you're playing are also making these weird, crappy decisions. So not all is lost. Unlike Miami, God, I can't get off of being stuck with Tua. I think that's the thing for me.
I mean, they put all their eggs in the Tua Tyreek Hill basket, and
do we get Tyreek back next year?
Do we want Tyreek back next year?
No, but do you think he comes back?
I think he does. I think it is unlikely that it's in Miami. This is just assumption and reading tea leaves a little bit here. I think it's, especially if they go the new coach route, I think it's really difficult to attract a quality coach when you're saying, okay, we're tying you to Tua Tagovailoa and Tyreek Hill for at least a year and possibly more, especially with Hill being, coming off an ACL injury, be 32. For those of you who don't know, I do a lot of dynasty research and that sort of thing. It gets really bad really fast for wide receivers after 32.
Yeah.
And coming off of big injuries like this, again, really bad. There's a lot of strikes against Tyreek Hill going forward. If he does come back next year, he'll be bucking a trend.
I could see him doing a little reunion tour in Kansas City with the issues they're having. Like, realistically, he knows the offense, he knows the scheme, he knows the team, he knows the coaches.
He'd be the new Travis Kelce.
Oh boy! Look, anything that makes the Chiefs worse next year, I'm here for it. All right,
man. Right. As a Broncos fan, I totally get that. As a Bills fan here, yeah. Let's do it.
Do you think Kelce's done? I think he's done.
I do.
I know that there's a lot of no. He wants the like retirement tour, the farewell tour. He's going to announce it in the offseason that this is his last season. I don't think he cares that much. Look, dude, he's getting married to Taylor Swift. Like, he can probably walk off into the sunset a happy man. He's made his money. He's won his Super Bowls. He's a first ballot Hall of Fame tight end.
Right.
And there's no chance he wins another Super Bowl at this point. It's over for that.
I mean, there's an outside shot. If he comes back next year, there's an outside shot. It happens next year because, they hire a real offensive coordinator that's not, man, anyhow. And they fix the defense, that sort of thing. Like, so there is an outside shot. And I still don't think he comes back next year. So it's a moot point.
Yeah. All right, we've got Alex G in the chat. Needs a tight end in a full PPR league. Taysom Hill, Colby Parkinson, AJ Barner, Mike Meyer. Taysom Hill. Fire up Taysom Hill, please.
If you are looking for a channel to make you feel good about rolling out Taysom Hill this week, I feel like we are it.
We are that channel.
We both got him at tight end 5 this week. We've been recommending him a lot throughout the day today, and we're going to continue to do so. Like Taysom Hill, he's that guy this week. He's going to see the volume. We really have no reason to believe that he won't see that volume. So, especially over these other options, Barner becomes a little interesting. But again, Taysom Hill is he's that guy. Good luck and Godspeed to you.
Yeah, I think it's funny. And this isn't a dig on you, Alex, but just everyone thinking that Mike Mayer, just because Brock Bowers is out, is going to do something. Brock Bowers has been out before. Michael Mayer just didn't do anything. Not only that, but they drafted him in the first round the year before they drafted Brock Bowers. They had a year of Mike Mayer to make him something, and they didn't do it. And then they went out and got Brock Bowers in the first round. That tells you what you need to know about Mayer. He's never going to be that guy, and I don't even want to flex him when Bowers is out.
And I mean, it's just, I think if this Raiders team was different, we could see something different from Mayer. I do think he's or could be a quality NFL tight end. I do not believe he can do that on the Raiders, especially Pete Carroll coached Raiders. Like this team is a dumpster fire, full on tank mode. I expect to see a lot of Ashton Genty today. I'm hoping to see the young guys, Jack Bash, Dante Thornton, so that way we can start getting a look at them for next year, so the Raiders can start getting a look at them next year, because they need to know what they have in these guys, like the Tyler Lockett's, the Trey Tuckers. Like these guys don't matter for the Raiders going forward. They obviously don't matter for fantasy. I mean, Trey Tucker kind of does. But they know that these are not centerpieces of their offense going forward. They need to know, are these guys actual role players for our team, or do we need to be ready to move on even though they're just second-year players?
Pete Carroll, I implore you, free Dylan Laube. Come on, man. Give the guy a full carry load. I know it won't go well. I just like the guy. I love his hair. It's his hair.
Sure. I mean, that's valid. I mean, let's get Ashton Genty going out there for teams that were eliminated, 3 weeks ago.
Right?
In their toilet bowls.
Yeah. The Max Crosby thing is interesting. Well, they went from, hey, we're shutting you down for the season. He gets pissed, storms out of the facility, to Max Crosby's having season-ending surgery and is now an IR.
Well, remember when he re-signed with them in the offseason for this big contract and everything like that? I was looking into that a little bit. There's 3 void years at the back end of his contract. They can trade him before June 1st next year, save $30 million against next year's cap, with only a $5 million dead cap hit. There's a very good chance he's not, like Carly says, that he's not going to be a Raider next year.
In all caps.
I mean, that's, as knowing Carly the way that we do, this is not an uncommon occurrence. So don't get into this too much. This is not news Carly. This is Carly.
Right.
Giving us this.
Yeah, I don't think they'll move him. And I'm, as a Bronco fan, happy to see him out of my damn division, because there's no way I don't know. The Raiders are stupid enough to trade him within the division. I mean, Mark Davis is bonehead. Absolute bonehead. And
he'd probably trade him to like Kansas City for a 3rd-round pick, something like that.
Oh man, yeah, I could see it.
Can you imagine? And then Spagnuolo has a guy like Max Crosby on that D line next to Chris Jones. Good Lord.
No, just trade him to Denver. The man wants a ring. Move him to Denver. Lou, what's your favorite game?
Watch what would happen.
What if he becomes a Cowboy? That is a move I could see Jerry Jones making. And he would give up way too much for Crosby to do it.
Man, he really would too, wouldn't he? Dang it.
Yeah, we're talking like first rounders through like 2035 and who knows what else. But Jerry Jones would do it, because Jerry Jones is one of the most delusional owners in all of sports. Every year he thinks his team is like one player away, and then you trade Micah Parsons because you think you're making your defense better with Quinnen Williams. I will never understand some of the moves he makes, the contracts that he's signed. I think we're in a situation in Dallas where he's a little too loyal. Does that make sense? Like he feels like the team's a family, and instead of making business decisions, he's making family decisions. Like Ezekiel Elliott is a perfect example of that.
I don't know if he's too loyal. I think he thinks he's a fantasy manager. I mean, as much as people give us, crap for like, you're not making real football decisions. Yeah, I know that. This is a game.
Right.
Does Jerry Jones know that? That's my question. Jerry Jones, Steven Jones,
not.
Whoever. Like, they really treat it like it's a fantasy football team. And they're not alone in that either. There's several GMs around that, and coaches that treat it that way. So whenever people have said to me, recently, you're just, playing a fake game here. Yeah. Who's playing? We just don't have the money to play on that level. That's really all it is.
Guys, just let Lou and I run your franchise for one season. Like New York Jets, what could possibly go wrong? It couldn't get worse.
Give me 5 on the Jets or the Browns. I'm telling you, give us 5 on the Jets or the Browns, and I'm telling you, that shit would turn around. Pardon my language. I'm so sorry.
You're fine.
It would turn around before you knew it. And I'm not even joking here. Cleveland, Haslam, give me a call.
Come on.
Give me a call.
Oh my God.
Got
Turning
the
a
phone right
Browns
here.
around would make my in-laws so proud of me. They're big Cleveland people.
Oh,
Ivan
I'd love
Malter,
it for you.
1999 wants to know Rico Dowdle or Alec Pierce full PPR. I'm assuming this is a flex. For me, it's Alec Pierce.
Yeah, for me too. I for some reason my brain went to Damian Pierce there for a minute, and really glad
Mine
that's
did
not
too,
the
but I
case.
pivoted away from that because
Yes. I mean, Alec Pierce, go ahead, buddy. Even with Rivers out there throwing the ball, and not Daniel Jones, Alec Pierce he looks like the truth, which is cool to see. I love when these wide receivers really kind of come out of not nowhere because he's flashed before, but he's just kind of built up year over year. And one of our optimist guys here, Cam White Heat FF on Blue Sky here. I did a great breakdown of him. If you're on Blue Sky, you're not following Cameron, you really need to. He's an Optimus Fantasy Starter Pack. He does such great work, great breakdowns. He does a few every week. He's going to have a ton of off-season content coming your way too. Just phenomenal stuff. But getting back to Alec Pierce, did a breakdown. Runs really good routes. He's really, really good at the top of his routes, especially creating space, which is what a guy like Phillips shot put Rivers needs in order to let the ball take the amount of time it needs to get to him. But yeah, Pierce, he does that. He obviously has that feel for the end zone. He's got that ability to make his quarterback right, even when he makes questionable decisions. Dowdle, I mean, he had those great couple games, and we will never forget them, and we love him for them. And it's time for us to understand that those are in the past and not coming back.
No, this is a full committee in Carolina. Does it concern you at all that we could only see a half of Phillip Rivers? We might get Riley Leonard in the second half with Pierce.
It does, but we only need one quarter for Alec Pierce to be Alec Pierce. As long as one of those quarters is in the first half, you're golden. Rico Dowdle can take the whole game and still not get you what one quarter of Alec Pierce can get you, simply because of the fact that Pierce is so good around the end zone. And I mean, in the end zone. They don't even have to necessarily be close. He's great down the field.
Yep. All right, folks, before we get out of here, this has been a blast and our last show of the year. Oh, man, I can't believe we're done. This is wild. We got through a season, but make sure before we get out of here, you are following us on Blue Sky at news.optimusfantasy.com is definitely the one you want to be on. We're breaking that news for you and making sure that you get your lineups right. It keeps you ahead of your league mates. If you're curious who's going to be active, who's going to be inactive, we post that every morning, every Sunday morning. We keep on top of it. And now that we're approaching the off season, there is so much to pay attention to. So make sure you're following us for draft news as well. A lot of rookie news coming out from that account as we get into it. I'm going to pop that up there one more time. It is news.optimusfantasy.com on Blue Sky. So make sure you're following there. Also, if you've got more questions for us and we're not here live, head over to Discord. Link is in the show description. Always free to join. We're answering questions 24/7. So we're happy to help you out through the season, through the off season. We're here. We're football nerds. It's what we do. Lots of rookie content coming up. We're going to be covering the Senior Bowl in person this year with Cam, Mike Vidala, and myself. We'll be down there getting all the news from those rookies, and we're just going to have everything for you. So make sure you're following along. OptimusFantasy.com on the web. Make sure you're subbed to our channel.
Yeah, and if you're a Dynasty nerd, we've got a ton of great Dynasty content coming out. I'm putting the kind of finishing touches on our Dynasty package together. The findings that I've got, the studies that I've done, truly game-changing stuff. I'm really excited to roll this out for y'all here in the coming weeks and months. And it's, like Nate said, it's all coming up. The Senior Bowl, we're going to have tons of draft content, and then I'm excited to do this all again.
I know.
We'll
be back next year. Yeah. Well, folks, it has been a blast. If you've ridden with us this season, we hope that you're in a championship. We hope we helped, and we hope you're happy. Have a great new year. We will be back week 1, but also just check out all the content we've got going all off season. Lots of Dynasty, lots of football from us. Again, thank you all so much. Oh, before we get out of here, I got one more.
Yes. Love it.
Jalen Hurts, Caleb Williams.
I've got Jalen Hurts. I've got them QB 9 and 10, but Jalen Hurts one one step ahead of Kalen Williams. So, I mean, I go Hurts. I still think Caleb Williams has a great day. Hurts' rushing upside just does a little bit more against that Buffalo defense that just it struggles.
Yeah, I'm with Hurts. I like Caleb Williams this week. I've got them kind of next to each other. But all right, here's another one. Dylan Sampson or Zach Charbonnet in the flex?
Ooh, I literally just updated when I saw Sampson was active. So bear with me 1 second. I just want to make sure I'm doing it right. Okay. I do have Charbonnet higher. If you are, I don't know if this is PPR or not. If it is full PPR, though, I'm fine with you going Sampson ahead of Charbonnet.
Me too.
Simply the fact that we know he's going to be involved in the passing game. Cleveland loves running screens. It's what they do literally better than anything else with Shedeur Sanders there. And we've seen it from Sampson before this year.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's, Raheem Sanders, he's still going to get like the bulk of the carries, but Sampson will do enough out of that backfield that I would start him in a full PPR just to be standard book 0.5 per first down. I go Charbonnet then there.
Yeah, I go Charbonnet with those settings as well.
Yeah, that's where I go with it. Thank you for that clarification. That helps. And
good luck that is very helpful. Very helpful.
Tim the Fat Dad. Love that screen name, by the way. Tim the Fat Dad.
I know it's great, right? I'm Nate the Fat Dad, so there we go. Well, that truly was our last start-sit question of the season, folks. It has been a blast riding with you. We'll see you next season, but make sure you're tuned in for all that off-season content. And, guys, just a little reminder here. News is 365. We're going to be there all off-season, making sure that you've got it. So make sure you follow along, folks. For Lee Brunson, I'm Nate Polvogt. Thank you guys for a wonderful season. Good luck in your championships, and we'll see you next year.